Welcome to another episode of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. I am your host, the infamous Ultimate One from New York City, and this video is pretty much titled AEW Drama. And yes, the last couple of weeks we've seen a lot of stuff going on in AEW. Reports coming in of talent not being happy. You got Dave Meltzer talking crazy, talking about as of late, the last report he made was that Warner Discovery had told AEW to tone down the language, but it's more than that. It's more than the language and the whole nine. So far, what I've been pretty much seeing is a lot of stuff in AEW. First of all, you saw what happened this past week with these title match with CM Punk and John Moxley. Moxley ended up beating CM Punk in less than 5 minutes. Now, my thing is, why did AEW do this? Supposedly, CM Punk hurt his same foot that he injured back in Double or Nothing, broke his foot or whatever it was. Then the end of the match came when CM Punk did a roundhouse enziguri kick with that same foot that he broke and injured it. Of course, Moxley went and took the opportunity to hit CM Punk not one, but with two paradigm shifts to pin him to become the undisputed world champion. Now, you ask yourself, why in the world happened here? That's the same question I've been asking. I'm trying to get answers. I went online to see if there's anything that CM Punk have said. Nothing. Only they showed a clip last night from Rampage where he claimed that he couldn't put no weight on the foot, and that when he first injured it, he didn't feel anything, but this time he felt something. Now, reports are coming from various dirt shirts that they're gonna make this match with Moxley and Punk all over again. Now, I don't know what's going on, who's coming with this idea, because honestly, the way I look at it is they blew the opportunity when they could have just made the match for All Out. It's September 4th. Now, you are trying to get the fans now a match where Moxley already embarrassed CM Punk. I mean, yes, they're going to say that he got injured and that's when Moxley took advantage. But why would you do that? I don't understand it. And during the week there was, the talk about what happened the prior week where CM Punk went to business for himself, called out Hangman Page, and they people were saying that CM Punk was pissed off because of a promo he did 3-4 months ago, whatever it was, and I'm scratching my head saying to myself, you really came back with a chip on your shoulder after you got injured, and you're bitching about something that happened 3 months ago to a build-up to a match between you and Adam Page. And then he was in another podcast where he said that he had no problem. He loved his first year in AEW and that he would not leave. So what was the point? I mean, so it led us to believe that this is all a shoot. This is all a thing where they're trying to catch the fans off their toes, trying to make it look like there is some type of heat. But is there really type of heat with anybody in the back? Is there talent right now who are not happy with the things the way they're going? Well, sure enough, as we saw that match, all of a sudden Thunder Rosa not vacated the title, but now they're putting a four-way for All Out, which includes Sheeta, Tony Storm, Jamie Hayter, and I think Britt Baker's in that. So, and the winner of that becomes the interim AEW Women's Champion. That word interim has been going around for the last couple of months in AEW. Now, the word is with Thunder Rosa is that she hurt her back, and she's been having issues with her back, and that she was told that to take time off. She doesn't want to have surgery because it's going to be longer. It's funny because Britt Baker got on the mic on Wednesday night and pretty much told the fans, it's funny how Thunder Rosa can't wrestle because she's injured. She said, I've wrestled with a broken wrist. Now, Thunder Rosa has a lot of heat in the back. A lot of heat. Now, this kind of makes me question if Ivelisse was saying the truth when she left. Now, I know I got on Ivelisse ass about that. She talked about her 20 years in the business and blah, blah, blah. And I kind of went off on her because I was like, well, you know what? At the end of the day, you just a regular person. It's nothing crazy. But so I kind of question her. But now that I look at this, where everybody talks about how Thunder Rosa is, she's stiff. A lot of females are complaining. She broke, I believe, whose nose she broke? I think, Jamie Hayter's nose she broke because she wrestles stiff. And Thunder Rosa has not been wrestling the way she usually is, and that is she's been very stiff. Her chemistry with the other wrestlers are not on point. So she gets a lot of slack in the back. But it's funny how she announced that she's going to step away for a while, and then the belt was going to be on the line. The storyline was, what they showed last week, was her clapping for Toni Storm, but she didn't look happy about it. So now they're going to put that on hold. But on Wednesday, she said, I wish you the best of luck to my friend. But we all know that, it could be a ruse. She may not be injured. And probably she's going to attack Toni Storms. But it's going to be interesting who's going to win that interim AEW women's title, because that is something that we all got to, we're going to see who wins it. I don't want it on Britt Baker. I'm tired of Britt Baker. Britt Baker's another one that she has not improved that great. I mean, she got a nice gimmick and everything, but do we need to put the belt back on Britt Baker? I mean, they did it with Moxley, but, and I don't have a problem with Moxley. The only problem I have with Moxley is that every match he bleeds. So, that it was not a match when Moxley did not bleed this past Wednesday. So, it's very interesting. Very, very interesting. The next drama that we heard was the suspension of Eddie Kingston. Now, that was very, very surprising for me. Apparently, the word is that Sammy Guevara did a promo where he called Eddie Kingston fat in the promo. And when he got back to Gorilla, Eddie Kingston was flipping out. Eddie Kingston felt that he was just being disrespectful. He never told him that he was going to say that. Words were exchanged. People got in the middle, and he pie-faced Sammy Guevara. So Tony Khan had no other choice but to suspend Eddie Kingston. Funny that nobody knew about this until this past Wednesday. It was a secret suspension, and you haven't seen Eddie Kingston on TV for a while. So with that being said, now you got to ask yourself a question: why they kept the secret? And now Eddie Kingston and Sammy Guevara are going to wrestle each other coming up on All Out. It's going to be very interesting if anything comes out of the storyline, out of whatever the wrestling match is supposed to be. Who's going to go to business himself. But, to me, I think at first I thought that Sammy Guevara was being an a-hole. I thought it was behind the scenes. He's trying to body shame Eddie Kingston. But it was Eddie Kingston even said that he was unprofessional because he allowed his emotion to get the best of him, and he said sorry. So now there were a lot of people going after Sammy Guevara on Twitter. Of course, Twitter, the place where everybody wants to be a tough guy, you got fans hiding behind computers, talking crap, acting gangsters when they're not, when Twitter is not a real thing and whatnot. Even though it is a real thing, it's social media, but don't act like you're gangster because you're not. So people were just attacking, not Eddie Kingston, but Sammy Guevara. What's funny is that Mr. Disco Inferno, Glenn Gerberti, now this guy acts like his, his thoughts and opinions matter. This is a guy who was a jobber in WCW. He's in a podcast with Conan and keeping it 100, and everything that comes out of his mouth, anything has to do with AEW, he's always got something to do. He always talking about the guys who did the flips and all that. Funny, but Glenn Gilberti didn't have no wrestling skill. He was a goofball, okay? And the only reason he got some play was because he was part of I believe he was part of the Filthy Animals. He was part of the NWO Wolfpack with Kevin Nash at one point. Other than that, what did he do in the wrestling business? He was a jobber. The guy was a jobber, And for him to just come out of nowhere and try to body shame Eddie Kingston, the funny thing is, he said that Eddie Kingston should go to the gym and do some workout with his body. But funny, with this guy, whether you had a good body or not, you still sucked in the ring. I keep it real. I keep it 100. You was not a good wrestler. You was an okay wrestler, but you was a jobber. You jobbed to everybody. Okay, the only time that you made history was when you and Scott Hall, and that when NWO Wolfpack was part of this whole thing. That even Louis Piccoli was part of that before he passed away a couple of weeks after he joined the NWO Wolfpack in '98. But other than that, Glenn Gilberti is just a clown. He's just a clown. So Eddie Kingston pretty much put him in his spot. And it's funny because these are guys that be high behind podcasts, talk a lot of crap, and want to act tough guy when their wrestling career is over, but won't confront any of these wrestlers right now because they hide behind a podcast. So the AEW situation right now, with this word that Andrade is not happy. You had somebody mention about, I read something that somebody went to Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss. This is going to be like WCW. And in a way, it looks kind of familiar with the WCW thing when they brought in all these WWF guys at the time in WCW. And now it's happening again in AEW with the WWE guys coming in. But that is Tony Khan's fault. Tony Khan acts like a damn mark. And he acts like this tough guy or whatever. And he's a mark. It's the same thing where he put out this week that the chief legal staff for AEW sent an email to Stephanie McMahon and Nick Khan of WWE, pretty much contacting with contract AEW wrestlers. So they're probably tampering with the contracts. WWE doesn't care, but they keep playing with fire. They're going to get burned. So, but Tony Khan right now, I don't know what is he doing. And again, the honeymoon of AEW is over. A lot of wrestling fans are not liking what's going on. Yes, you had great matches. You had the Jay Lethal versus Dax Harwood this week, and it was a great match. It went very well. But you put the good matches, but then again, the things that are happening behind the scene is crazy. Because right now, as of last night, I had the House of Black winning the Trios Tag Team title, but that is going to be most likely maybe the Elite is going to end up winning that. And speaking of the Elite, another situation that is happening in AEW, and I mentioned this on my audio podcast, I mentioned it on my video podcast, is the situation between Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay. These guys went back and forth and whatnot, and now the United Empire and the Elite are going to face off next Wednesday. They got personal. It got very personal, which that I will talk about tomorrow on my audio podcast. But it goes to show you there's a lot of beef going on, a lot of problems going on in AEW. There's a lot of drama going on in AEW. This is it's funny because a couple of months ago, almost a year ago, everything was WWE with the drama, with the COVID, people leaving, people getting cut, and now the tides have turned around, and now it's AEW going through all this drama and all these ego situation. But it's a lot of things going on. I mean, and now with All Out coming up September 4th, I mean, you got a nice little card, but what about the world title situation? Are you going to put CM Punk again against Moxley when you already messed that shit up this past Wednesday? So, I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of drama going on. Thunder Rosa, now back injury. Now you Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly are still out. They haven't been cleared. So, we don't know what's going to happen. Is there's a lot of drama going on in AEW. I mean, again, the honeymoon is over. October 2nd makes 3 years that this company has been around on TV. October 2nd, 2019. And October 2nd, I will never forget. The reason, that's my daughter's birthday, October 2nd. And October 2nd, 2019, AEW Dynamite had their first episode. And already, AEW has lost one of their main pioneers, and that was Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes and Brandy left, even though Brandy I can care for, but them losing Cody Rhodes at first, I said, that we have a lot of talent, whatever. But now, I mean, it's even word that MJF may come back. So it's MJF is gonna come out of nowhere, and pretty much if CM Punk can't go, and face Moxley and beat Moxley for the world title. I mean, MJF has not been seen since the night after Double or Nothing, or 3 nights after Double or Nothing, when he called Tony Khan a mark, or effing mark at that. So, who would have thought that AEW would have all these issues? I remember when I first started covering AEW on my first year, not even a year in my podcast, I said, I'm all for AEW. And people were like, oh, you're an AEW mark. You don't care. You're going to defend AEW to the end. No, I'm not defending AEW jack. Because if AEW is doing something wrong, I'm going to point it out. No matter what. No matter what, I'm going to point it out. So right now, I'm pointing it out. The fact now Kip Sabian came back, attacked Pac. That's going to be a very interesting match. I mean, Kip Sabian has not been seen since Mero kicked his ass last year. So it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, they have to let go of these people. I mean, first of all, Private Party, why they still got Private Party around? Private Party has not produced anything. Proud and Powerful, that tag team is already broken up because now Santana is injured, but he was talking about breaking it up. Ortiz, I don't know what's going to happen with him. So there's a lot of factors right now what's going on in AEW, especially with this Kenny Omega Will Ospreay situation. Is it going to go out of pocket after this Wednesday coming up and whatnot? So that's going to be very interesting. I think this Wednesday is the go home show for All Out. They are going to be in Chicago, so it's going to be very interesting what's going to happen this week with that. But right now, Tony Khan has just got his hands full. There was word also that he's nasty in the back. He confronts people as nasty. So, I mean, I see it. The guy's a freaking goofball because, the way he acts. I remember when Claudio came to the scene, he hugged Claudio like he had just got his brand new toy. So that's why a lot of wrestlers from WWE that left WWE and now know that Triple H is back in town did not sign with AEW. So Bray Wyatt was still out there, and he hasn't signed with anybody. The interesting part is, I don't know, they're still with this. What is it? The Forbidden Door, because they announced that the Motor City Machine Guns are going to come out and All Out. How did that happen if Impact doesn't work with AEW? So what is it? What is it? You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it is. So I'm going to have more of this stories and all this on my audio podcast tomorrow. So, be alert on that. So that is it for me when it comes to this AEW drama video. Again, I don't know where it's going to go. I mean, they better get this shit together because right now you can see that Triple H is doing whatever he's doing to bring back WWE the way it's supposed to be. And AEW right now, instead of taking advantage of the situation, they didn't. Instead, there's conflict in the back, people getting mushed, people getting suspended, people getting hurt, people out. It's just bugged out. So that is it for me today, guys. If you want to follow me, you can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Most of the time I'm on Twitter. You can follow me there a lot. I'm very active on Twitter. So you can find me there. If you guys want to check out my audio podcast, you can find it at Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music. You can find me in Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and many more other places. Here, of course, you guys on the YouTube channel. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel. You could hit that notification bell for new uploads. Check out the content that I have here. I got tons of content in the channel that you guys could check out. If you have not seen any of my other contents, check it out. Also, I have a merchandise store called tcwr.veryincpressive.com. That's tcwr.veryincpressive.com. And how you call it? You can check it out. I got the t-shirt. As a matter of fact, I got this t-shirt right here. If you guys can't see it, there it goes. It's the Chokeslam Wrestling Report t-shirt. I got hats. I got hoodies. I got other shirts in there, so you got to check it out. You can check out the website. You go sign in for the website, register for the website. You get to listen to the YouTube channel in there. Plus, there's a link to the audio podcast. If you guys never listened to my audio podcast, I want to thank to all the new countries that has joined. Unbelievable, but I got Saudi Arabia, Colombia. What are the ones I saw in there? Portugal, of course, Ghana, Slovakia, Germany, India, Pakistan. I'm everywhere. The audio podcast has been everywhere. Of course, the YouTube channel, of course, is going to be everywhere because that's worldwide known. So, guys, check it out. Check the Facebook page I have. I do usually do the Facebook Live, but I chose to do a video, which is much easier, less stressful. So check it out. Again, tell your friends, share. Hit that notification bell, hit that thumbs up for more thumbs up so people can find me on the search channel. That is it for me, guys. Be safe, and I will see you guys next week. Check out my audio podcast tomorrow on the Spotify, Apple, and Amazon Radio or music, and check out for new content. Until then, guys, be safe, be well, and I'll see you guys next week.